Welcome back to another episode of Rob and Avis Ramble. First episode of 2026, Avis.
Woohoo.
How you feel about that? Another year
I'm ready.
behind us.
Yeah.
Feeling another year older.
Hey, stop that.
No, I'm talking about me, not
Okay,
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna get older this
you're just
year.
getting younger. I'm the one getting older over here. So we've got a guest today. We've got Joel Lopez with us. And Joel, he's one of the accounts that I like to follow on X. I think he has a pretty based. Am I too old to say based? I don't
Yes.
know. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to say it. I feel like he's got
Maybe
some
not.
pretty
I don't
based
know.
views, especially for a Christian guy. He's I think Joel, you come at it from a Christian point of view, right? From what I've gathered,
Yeah, so
100%.
for sure, Christian. So one of my original like bios was like I'm Ned Flanders, but if Ned Flanders grew up watching In Living Color. Like how
I like
like
it.
that's it's kind of like yeah, I love Jesus and I want all of that, but I also playing grew up playing football and in a locker room, so like,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of things that get said in there that yeah, that don't leave, that aren't for public consumption.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. So I have both of those. Like I loved being in church, but I also really enjoyed and felt like I was myself in the locker room.
Yeah.
If
Well,
that makes that if that if that kind of explains to you like where does that come from? It's like, hey, this
yeah.
guy loves Jesus, but then he talks all this trash. I'm like, well, yeah, like I am both for
No,
better or
it
for
makes sense, and
worse.
I mean, I always appreciate other Christians that kind of have they're not afraid to say the things that sometimes other Christians would hear you say and go, "Oh my gosh, they can't say that," right? So I always appreciate others that are willing to do that.
There was a
Um,
guy, his name was Roman, he called them the pearl cluters.
Yeah, I was
yes.
gonna say there'll be no pearl
No
clutching
pearl
today.
But
clutching.
I do love that visual, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I imagine that a lot with some of the things we say on X with some of the
yeah,
women out there, and they tell me too.
yeah.
Um, so, Joel, tell us just a little bit about yourself and a basic, who are you? You've been married a while. You got some kids. Like,
Mhm.
tell me about yourself and tell me, what is your basic purpose for kind of being on X with your account?
Yeah, so been married for 20 years. It'll be 21 this year. Been with my wife 27 years, so we've been doing this for a while. Um, we have 6 children. We've lost two babies, so we kind of know that part of it too. We've had, a lot of the arguments that married couples have, and the purpose really, like, if I think about it, is marriage is God's idea. It's foundational to everything that we do. It's like, okay, people are worried about feminism, people are worried about politics, people are worried about all this stuff. It's like, okay, but it all comes from the family. The family is the basic building block, and the man and the woman are the foundational pieces. And so I come in from a perspective of like I'm a man, so I speak to men. And so I understand my wife and I have an understanding of women for sure, but my audience is men because men were made to lead and to be responsible, and that is my basic premise of if your marriage is in trouble, we have to clean up your side of the street first. And so I speak to men.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, I mean, maybe it's just the algorithm because of the kind of things that we talk about on X, but I feel like I definitely see a lot more men talking to men than I see women talking to women. Is that your perception as well? Do you think there's just accounts out there I don't see that speak to women?
um well, Gia McCool for sure.
Hmm.
So
He does. Yeah.
there were some others also. There was one Mountain Housewife,
Okay, that's
but
not one I'm familiar with.
but they, it's like they have like lives outside of online. So like
Yeah.
they were like some because I've been posting that for like 5 or 6 years. So it was like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago they were posting a lot, and then the algorithm changed because like that kind of happened for a while too, where it was like I'm not a massive account, but I'm not small either. And it was like when I was
Yeah.
smaller, I would post stuff and it would just take off. And now it's like I post and it's like 500, it's like 500 people. Like, well, okay. So it's like, okay, I'll be consistent because I still like there's still value in doing it, and
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah,
gonna
someone
do it.
still finds
But
value.
I don't. And then there was another woman, Limitless Leila Tomasone. She was posting a lot, but then she just had twins.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, that's another one. I mean, Gia, obviously, we know Gia very well, but
yeah.
she's really the only one. So you've
Yeah,
mentioned 2
Gia for
already that
sure
we
is out
know.
there fighting the battle for women. That's why I appreciate her because it's like it's not to me it's not the same for me to say something to women. It's like I don't understand. I don't come from your perspective. Like it's just not gonna land the same, um, in my opinion. And for me, it's like I'm a dude. I'm gonna talk to dudes, and sometimes
Yeah,
I might say something that crosses, and it's like, hey, thanks for your perspective.
yeah,
I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but like I talk to like because actually what I actually do get you guys is I'll get like, well, what about women? And like, what about them? Like, what about them? Like, what do you want me to say? Like you want me to hold them accountable? Like
yeah,
I only have one. Well, actually, four that I have to hold accountable. They're the ones in my house. Those are
yeah,
the ones I hold accountable. All right, like like these dudes talking about like holding women accountable. It's like, hey, like there's that woman who she had sex with like 100 dudes at a time, right? It's just
Yeah.
like you guys are the same ones that hold people accountable, but when they throw the poon at you, you can't say no. Like you
right.
can't hold nobody accountable. Stop playing, man. Get out of here. Like you can't hold anybody accountable. You're whipped.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I view myself as speaking to women. Some women might say it that way, but I kind of think of it as I'm just giving a man's perspective when
Yeah.
I post on like, I mean, I might be talking to women, but I'm doing it from a man's perspective. Like, hey, this is how men see it. Right. Which is kind of why I try to encourage Avis to post more because, she's got the female perspective, but
Yeah. And
she's got
I
to
gotta check to see who's posted. Is that the R or the A?
the
Right.
R, the A, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. And then
It
some
gets
some
confusing.
people don't like it because they're like, what are you guys like 70? Like, who does that? But we're sharing an account, so it
If
kind
I
of makes
had my
sense.
own account, it would be dead. I mean, I'm not consistent. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's doing housewife stuff, man. She's been out there
We
being a good wife. She ain't got time for social media.
We like this. You like doing this too, right? The chatting is probably like right up your alley too, right? Because it's direct feedback. Because I actually
yeah,
don't
Yeah.
like. One of the things too is I don't like typing. So like if somebody is like gonna get into with me and like a back and forth, like I'm not doing that just because like it took me all this mental energy to type out my original post or whatever. Like
yeah.
there's no gas in the tank for me to reply anymore. All right, like I'm
Funny.
I might
Well,
post a GIF or whatever, but like I'm gassed out.
yeah, I'm not too savvy with it, and, like, with the X, you can, like it doesn't just go in a straight line, like, some of the you tick on this one, and then you're over here, and then just and then you hit this one, and it's down over on this side, and I'm just like and Rob's like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "I can't find anything."
Yeah,
I don't
she never
I
like
don't
all
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's all right. Uh, so Joel, let me dig into some questions for you. So I did a little perusing of
Ooh, I like that word, perusing.
perusing, yeah, of your account, kind of leading up to this discussion, and just pull some things I've seen you kind of talk about here and there that I thought maybe be some good topics that we could dive into a little bit. Um, so let's start with this one. So I think you've talked a little bit about like men and kind of how they have more like a logical approach to processing versus women are a little bit more emotional, and that can kind of lead to conflicts in marriage, right? Because they don't necessarily see it the same way or understand each other. And I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you see as kind of strategies that couples can use to kind of bridge or bring together those misunderstandings and work through them?
Yeah, that's actually like one of the core issues that when guys come to me, it's like, we're arguing or there's this disconnect. And first and foremost, it's like we go through a process because in general, that's true, right? Like men in general, like men in general are stronger than women. Like this is just that's just facts, okay? So
Agreed.
in general, men are start logically. That's not to say that women are illogical. It's just in a process, a man thinks first and then he feels second, whereas a woman will feel first and think second, just to kind of keep that. So when we go through like when I go through my coaching, it's like, hey, you guys both of these are strengths. It's not a weakness that a woman feels. Like I've gotten into business deals because on paper it looks good, but my wife will say something like, I have a bad feeling about this person, even though all the facts and figures look good. That's a good thing to have. And so this is where it's complementary. God gave us feelings and he gave us logic. So when we work together and we give each other grace for those things, that if you understand that, hey, my wife feels first and then she thinks, and my frustration is because she's not like me. It's like, brother, if you wanted somebody like you, you'd be in a gay marriage. Okay. That's not,
Yeah,
is that what you
right.
wanted? Like, just like, do you want a man or do you want a woman? Because this is a woman. So I just think a big thing is just understanding that, like, because it's still frustrating. It's still frustrating because it's like, oh man, how could you think that? And for a woman, it's the same thing. It's like, how could you be so cold? We'd ever think of like, how could you be so cold? And for a man, it's like, well, I'm talking the facts. It's giving each, if you have that understanding that this is part of her nature and this is part of your nature, and you give each other grace and know that, hey, I have the best interests at heart for you and for our family. Because of that, we can work this out and be complementary instead of having conflict. So really it is an opportunity to work together and come together and be complementary, as opposed to have it be conflict, because you need both. like like you guys have multiple kids. Some of your kids might be more logical and some of them would be more, like, where I can come down really hard and my wife will be like, hey man, you need to chill. And I'm like, I do. I'm like, yeah. Or on the opposite hand, it's like, hey, you're being kind of soft on them. Like, we need to carry these sick. And she'll be like, oh, I do. I'm like, yeah, like this is why they're doing this. So
Yeah.
we need both. Like and as like a technical thing, it really is one of these things where it's just, you just have to really solidify that in your mind as like I married somebody different and they bring different strengths to the table, and instead of being frustrated with that, I should honor that and appreciate that. And the more that I do that, then I'll let her be the best version of herself. Like my wife, she just had a friend whose husband just passed away.
Mm.
And so my wife, sweetheart that she is, cooked a meal and went over there and just spent some time with her. Like, uh, that's not really something like that I would do, but I appreciate that about her, that she has like
Oh,
this very caring heart. Like that's a good thing. Like she that makes a good name for me, because it's like, oh, Joel's wife. I was like, oh, like when I go into places, it's like, oh, that's her husband. Like, oh, okay, like that makes my name. So she in the community, my name is good because she goes out and she does these things because she just got a big heart. So
yeah.
just grace, like,
I
and
think that's an excellent point you're kind of making there, is that, couples, I mean, people do kind of judge you based on your spouse to a degree,
mhm,
right? And so like if you've got a spouse that's, maybe maybe not so well liked in the community, that's gonna reflect on everybody in your family, right?
right.
Yeah. Oh. But also the positive spin to it, like you were saying, when they are actually, someone that the community values, then it's good for everyone.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
for sure. And then the thing with grace too is it's undeserved. So it's like I'm not easy to deal with. I know I'm not easy to do. Like I know, like, so the stuff that I post on Twitter, that's like the tame stuff. Like that's me like thinking it through, and like that's gone through a few filters
yeah.
before it's gone out. My wife deals with me like the stuff when I actually like, that's me like almost on my good behavior. She gets me on my worst days.
She gets the
right?
unfiltered version of
Yeah, the
it all.
unfiltered
Yeah.
versus like same thing for you, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's one
Mhm.
we present ourselves publicly one way. That's not to say you're just being unauthentic, but when you're tired, when you know you're upset, you're angry, like you get the full version, and it's not always nice, but we understand that we
No.
love each other, and I'm going to give you grace, saying that you don't deserve this, right? Because that's what God did for us. Like you don't deserve this, but I'm doing it for you anyway. Like that's grace. And then the couples that do that the most continuously, consistently have better marriages. Like again, you guys have been married for how long now?
30 plus years.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there was some conflict that was required where it was
Eh,
like you were
Once,
actually
maybe once.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
not a that's that couple
I'm
down
like
the
Yeah.
street.
90% spicy emotion when I get tired and only
Oh, okay.
10% logic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah. We've had some
Some knockdown
heated
dragouts,
times
right?
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still, I mean, and that's something I like to kind of just communicate to people that like, I mean, we still will do
Mhm.
that. We've been together 30 years, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we have a great marriage, all that thing, but that is just the reality of imperfect human beings. You're gonna have miscommunications, you're gonna have
mhm.
stuff that's gonna get heated, right? But like you were saying, like I think the difference is in the couples that are able to kind of work through that in good faith and grace and all those other sorts of things and come out the other side. And hopefully you're 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 in a better place after that,
Mhm.
right? Not a worse. And if you're working in good faith, you'll end up in a
W
better place because you're
what
actually solving.
what do you guys think about this? Is like the expectation of like, hey, if you've been on the top of the mountain, that you just kind of stay there, where it's like no,
No,
no, that's not
no,
no.
no. The blizzard's gonna come, the snow's gonna come, you're gonna go down the hill in an avalanche, you're gonna have to
Hmm.
climb back up. Yeah.
I'm going to act like a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda
Yeah.
speaking to that whole, like, emotional. I mean, that's Ava's to a T. I mean,
Uh,
she will, I may come to her with something, that's, like, a difficult topic, and her immediate reaction is, like, tears,
mhm.
like, it's just this emotional tantrum, thing, and it's like, it's alright. I mean, I've been married long enough, like, I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna let her have it out," right?
Yeah.
She can let her get through it, and then when she kinda clears her head, and then we can actually have the logical conversation that I wanna have, and vice
Yeah.
versa for her. Sometimes she's coming to me with, like, a more, like, emotional tone, but my gut reaction is, like, as soon as she's telling me something, even if she might would just kind of be wanting me to listen, I'm, like, trying to solve the problem, and that's not
Mhm.
always what's needed, right?
Yeah.
But that's just what men do. That's how
Right.
we're yeah.
Haven't you found that there's kind of a joy in that too? It's like, early on, the emotions are like, man, like, what the hell? Like, you need to chill. Whereas now it's like, oh, that's my girl. Like that, she's emotional. Like, okay, like
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Rob actually said a couple weeks ago, I like it when you act like a toddler. And I was like, do you really want to reinforce this behavior?
Yeah, that's
Honestly.
true, yeah. I probably wouldn't
Well,
have said that 20 years ago. Yeah.
what the thing is, it's a double edged sword, right? There's also positives to being that 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 emotional. Also has its benefit where it's like, you're the light of the room, where you're super warm and affectionate and passionate. Like like
Yeah.
a cold woman, like to me, like I wouldn't want a cold one, because I like the warmth and the affection and the come here baby. It's because I'm Mexican too, so it's like come here baby. Like I like the spice. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
No, the spices, I don't mind the spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Hey, if
like
if I didn't like the spice, believe me, we wouldn't have made it as long as
right,
we have, yeah.
right. It's like, like I don't know much about horses and stuff, but I would imagine like, the wild stallion is gonna be a great horse if you can hang on, right?
Yeah.
It's a powerful horse. Not that I'm trying to make some crazy but I'm just in my mind, it's like, if you got a wild stallion of a wife,
I
like
think it's comparing women to horses. I mean,
yeah,
this is what I'm
that's
hearing,
gonna be the
horses.
clip you guys can
Yeah.
that's gonna be the clip right there. And you can keep it
That's
too.
not the worst thing I've been compared
You
to.
can keep it. Not even you and personally, but again, like
Right.
powerful
Yeah.
women, like if you can tap into that and use it for your benefit, like
Yeah.
that's
It's a
Life
wild
is an
ride. It can be
life is
fun.
an adventure,
Yeah.
right? Like the 30
Yeah.
years that
Mhm.
you have, like I'm sure it's like flown by. Like it's been 20 already, and like my wife and I was like, we still feel like teenagers because we met when we were teenagers too.
Yeah.
So like it's like I still feel like I'm not responsible enough to have a mortgage and kids and all this
Oh,
that we
yeah.
have here. Like when
Yeah,
did this
yeah.
when did we become adults? Because I still don't feel like one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Joel, if I give you anything to look forward to, you get all those kids out of the house and,
Huh?
you go right back to being teenagers. It's
Yeah.
great, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay and it's acceptable. You don't
Yeah.
have kids to worry about, take care of anymore, not at home.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna it's gonna be a while because our youngest just turns 2, so
Yeah, you got a few days. Hey,
hey guys,
you
it's gonna
you
be
get
a
one of those
while.
kids, like, yeah, kick them out at 16.
Yeah,
It's
for sure. It's like go live with your brother, your sisters, or whatever.
Exactly.
All right.
Um, cool. Well, let's dive. I want to dive into a little bit more of a controversial topic with you, if that's okay.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's go.
So, there's this servant leadership that we
Hmm.
kind of talked about in a lot of churches, and it's become for a lot of men a really a dirty word,
Hmm.
and frankly, I think it's driven a lot of men away from the church. But I wanted to ask you, like, from your point of view, I mean, what is servant leadership? Like, how is it improperly defined, and how should it properly be defined?
Yeah, I originally like when I saw the criticism of it, I was like, what's the problem here? Like that was my original kind of thought. Like, yeah, like you serve, like of course, but you can do this thing where you can do a good thing and put it above God. Okay, so like I'm a family man, so if someone says, "Oh, I put my family first," it'd be like, "Oh, that's good," or like a wife puts her family first, like that's good. It's like, no, God comes first. So that is that North Star. But what we do is we put good things, and they're kind of again, if like you put like drugs or porn or something first, they'd be like, oh, of course that's bad because anything like that, like it's like, oh, of course that's bad. But if you put your family first, it'd almost be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But why isn't it working? It's like, no, because now you become a slave to that thing, and your priorities are now out of order. So servant leadership, as I've seen, is now is like the role that you have as a man is to serve, and it's like, well, true to a sense, yes, but incorrect. Like your role as a man is to lead, and part of leadership will require that you serve. Yeah, okay, cool. But your primary purpose is not just to serve. Your primary purpose is not to serve. That makes you a politician. That makes you like trying to, give everybody else what they need when it comes to making a tough decision. You're going to serve them when you have to serve something, and you're going to have to make tough decisions and make calls that not everybody's going to like. So the examples that would be given like in the Bible would be like, oh, Jesus washed the disciples' feet. Look at him serving. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, he did that. Okay. But that wasn't his mission. His mission was to come and to live his life and die on the cross. That was his mission. All those other things he did were in service to that mission. And so what I think a lot of Christian men or men in general is like they put the family first before everything. It's like, no, you have to figure out what God called you to do, your mission. And then I think with the church, what has happened is that a lot of pastors, because I saw this clip and it was like this pastor, I don't know who he was, but he probably had like a good sized church, and that's not an easy thing to do. Okay, it's like everybody who works in a church, they're not making a lot of money, and they're very big organizations, and there's a lot of logistics. So there's a lot of leadership qualities that are required to be able to lead even a small church. So there's like this automatic like respect and reverence that a pastor will get. So a pastor will say, "Oh." In front of everybody, it's like, oh, I'm a servant leader, so I serve my wife. But I think part of that is because it's like they already have this mission and they're very clear and they're already respected. So they do it as a way to like elevate their wife, because a pastor's wife can sometimes be kind of thought of as like less than. It's like, oh, she's the pastor. So they're doing it as a way for you to like make sure like you respect my wife. but they're giving it to men in general who don't have that same type of pool, or they're just regular joes working a job, and then so the regular joe says, oh, I'm going to do the same thing, but it's like, no, you don't have that kind of drive and mission in your life like a pastor will, per se, and there's respect, so it doesn't land quite the same. So you wonder why it's not working. So pastors are basically like speaking to other, giving advice that would probably work well for other pastors, but not work so much well for just like the average Joe who's working a cubicle job and try to make things go. Because again, um, there is a lot of responsibility and leadership qualities that come with leading a church.
Yeah. Um, well, kind of, yeah, I think loosely related to this topic. Um, I have this belief that state involvement in marriage is causing a lot of problems in marriage, and in terms of it's kind of flipping the leadership around, right? Because I think you've got a lot of men who understand that the state is placing an enormous amount of power in their wife's hands, and if your wife wants to pick up and walk out the door, the state gives her the power to do that, right? And um, she can, if you got kids involved, there's child support, there's other things, right? There's just men. A lot of men have, like financial worries, right? Because that's men like to build, right? And to have
Mhm,
someone come in and kind of like knock that down and tear that down, it's just a fear a lot of men have. So, um, I think what ends up happening in that case is that, wives challenge men, right? They do.
mhm.
Women are going to challenge you. Um, and they will end up kind of conceding to their wife because they fear that if their wife's not happy, well, then she may exercise that power the state's given her. And the wife kind of ends up leading the marriage from the back seat, and it's a disaster. And I think for me, it kind of rolls into this whole servant leadership thing, and where a lot of churches get it wrong because they're not really talking about or talking to the wives about this leadership and authority thing, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody has to have authority, and biblically it's the husband
Mhm.
in the marriage, right? But the state is kind of undermining that, if that's making sense. And
Yeah.
then the churches aren't really doing a great job of combating that.
So this is interesting to me, um, because I have like my own criticisms of the church for sure. But going back to like, I played football and like I did these things. So to me, like whether um the church was like masculine or not, it wasn't a concern for me, because it was like I had a place where it was like, I, if anything, I wanted a place to kind of like rest, and it was like, and I'm not some bad boy fighter or anything at all. Like I don't want that to be like the case. But this is a place where it's like, hey, God, I just want you, and that was it. So what the pastor looked like or dressed like wasn't a concern. But also, if I think back, so in Southern California, my pastor was Raul Reese, and this was a guy who I believe, he was like a black belt in karate, and like his story was pretty rough, to the point where like he got saved because like he was going to lose his family, and he was like waiting with a shotgun to like kill his wife and children because they were going to leave.
Mm,
And like he sees somebody on TV, and like he gets saved. And so like he runs Calvary Chapel, one of the biggest churches. And then
yep.
so like that was like kind of like my pastor growing up. And then like my pastor here in Phoenix, he was kind of like a cowboy, and he got caught like selling like a lot of drugs, and then like he was like, Jesus saved me. So like, again, I can see it because I've gone to like these seeker friendly churches, and it's very like, but like for me, it's like, okay, like that's just for other people. So I kind of separate myself from that. But so I just don't think that there's like a lot of places, because I'm a 90s teen too. So I think that um like we were kind of encouraged, and you guys were gently like, we were encouraged to play football. We were encouraged to like get scrapes and bruises and just take our lumps. And so I don't know how old your kids are, but if it changed, because I know like there was a change where I didn't hear the term soccer mom until like the late 90s already. That's why if you guys see like, if I make fun of soccer, just because I feel like like to me, that's my criticism. Is like I feel like soccer is feminizing
I mean,
American
you're
boys.
crushing Avis right now.
Yeah, sorry, but
No,
That's
no,
okay.
she played soccer. She's a
well,
big soccer player in
It's
high
different.
school. It's different for girls.
Different for
Yeah,
girls. Yeah,
yeah.
and then so, but um, going to the marriage thing, like the state, like I didn't grow up around guns, and so the first time I went to go buy a firearm, I wanted something with a safety, and the
Mm,
guy who was selling me the gun, I was like, "Hey, I want something with safety," and he made like the trigger finger to me, and he's like, "You know what this is?" And I was like, "What?" Like, "This is my safety,"
yeah,
right? And so when it comes to marriage, it's like I'm the safety. I'm the decision maker. I'm the one who is going to decide how this goes. Now, in the Bible, when you would make a covenant, you would basically say, if I don't feel my part of this, they would have a carcass and they would split it and you would walk through the carcass. So it'd be like if I don't do my part, that I would end up like these animals dead, split in half. Okay, so it was a very serious thing to get into a covenant with somebody. So if I'm going to enter into marriage with somebody, I need to take it with that same amount of uh, prudence, care, all that comes into it. But one of the things that I did with my wife was like, say she did cheat on me, say she did take half my money, say she did terrible things and took all of it. Okay. Would I still marry her if I knew that that was the outcome? And I said, yes. So I made peace with the worst outcome that I could imagine in my head before I did it. So if she was to leave now, yeah, it would hurt, it would be painful, but I've already made peace with like that's what would happen. So that I can make these decisions that if you don't
yeah,
like it, like okay,
yeah.
that's
It,
on you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's I think you come at it from a little bit different angle than I do, but I think we're
Mhm.
basically like we probably see it the same way. I mean,
Yeah,
I have what I
I know a
call
woman has power that she can take off and leave, but to me, it's like if I had this thought for sure, it was if you were to leave me, you'd be an idiot.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
right. Your loss.
what are you gonna tell people that you
Yeah,
left Joel? Did he cheat on you? No. Did he beat you? No. What did he do? I just want to go
yeah.
explain that.
I had to
Go
go
ex-
find myself. That's what we
go
hear a
ex-
lot of wives saying, right?
go explain that to your mom and dad. Go explain that to my dad. Go explain that to the kids. That's on you. Like, and that's the thing where it's like I'm not going to be manipulated. Like that's a big thing with me
Yeah,
is you're not going to
yeah.
manipulate me.
Well,
Why? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and I think this is really interesting because I mean, you've been married a long time. You've been married 20 years, right?
Mhm.
And I think it does seem to be a key. What is I think the people that get divorced, like the average about 13 years, I think is what I read
Mhm.
roughly
Yeah,
before
that sounds
divorce
about right.
happens. And I do kind of wonder, is that like a delineating like line in the marriages that actually make it and they're happy is that the men kind of, yeah, they understand there's risk there,
Hmm.
right? But they do the right thing anyways in spite of the risk. And I have a little more crass way of saying it. I say I kind of adopt the fuck it attitude,
Hmm.
which is just saying like, I'm going to do what I know to be right no
Hmm.
matter what. Fuck the consequences. If it
Hmm.
happens, it happens. You know, and I'm gonna do it like it needs to be done. And I think you're kind of saying the same thing. I think you're saying a little bit different,
Yeah,
but it's like
but still
you're
same
just
thing.
saying I know what's right to do, and I'm gonna do it. And if it doesn't work out like I want it to, I'm at peace with that, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
I've made peace.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. That is it. But also, it's like I watched her, right? So one of like the key moments in when my wife and I were dating because we were long distance, so it was work. Like
Mm.
this,
yeah,
I had to get a. I had to go to 7-Eleven and buy a calling card because it was long distance. Because like like if you dialed outside of your area code, that was long distance, and that wasn't happening.
yeah,
And so there was no internet, and so we had to write letters to each other, and that would take days. So there was a lot of work that was involved. First of all, for us just to be able to see each other and date, but my dad ended up in the hospital, and so she was in school, she was working 2 jobs, and she was a dancer, like a ballet dancer, and she would do all that stuff, and then on Friday, she would drive down because I was in LA and she was in Northern California. It's like a 6-hour drive one way, and she would come and she would sit in the hospital with us, and then, she would go to our house and she would kinda straighten up and, like, bring dinner, make dinner for us, and then she'd drive up on Sunday, and that was like a 6 or 7 hour drive because it's like worse on Sundays. And then she did that for like 2 or 3 weeks at like she would just like I never asked her to do that. Like I never asked. I wouldn't ask like I wouldn't ask to like inconvenience and do that's just not the way I like she just did it. And it was like, oh, like this is life. It's not, you know, vacations, it's not like freaky sex, which is like awesome. It's not like all the good times. It's like how do you show up when it's like this is not fun? Who wants to be here? I didn't even want to be there, but you came here
Yeah.
to sit with me. So I'm never gonna forget. And there was other things like that where it's like, okay, yes, you're beautiful, yes, you're smart, yes, we're kind of value aligned, but where are you when like the shit hits the fan, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you're right, you're in my corner and I'm in your corner. So okay, yeah, I'll take this. It still is a risk. It still is a leap of faith. It always is. But I have enough information and I have enough confidence in myself uh to make this decision.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me kind of build on this discussion a little bit. So, um, if we've kind of established that a man's role is to, lead, kind of be the authority in the marriage, um, unapologetically lead, I should say, right? What do you see as what is a wife's role?
So the in the Bible, when it talks about Eve, he says a helper suitable. So the word helper is actually Ezer. And so Ezer is there's the Psalms in the Bible where David says, "Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord." That's that same word, Ezer.
Mm.
So this isn't like the maid or the secretary. This is like a I'm in trouble. Come save me. So your wife, if you are in your doing what you're supposed to do, your wife now has something to do, and it's to help you get to where you need to go. Like so, when God created Adam and Eve, He tells them that they have both of them. Not Adam and Eve. When He's talking to man at the beginning, He's like have dominion over the whole earth. But when He created Adam, He just put Adam in the garden, meaning a man by himself can just handle this much. But a man and woman together, now they have power and dominion over the whole earth to subdue it. So both of them working together now have the power because they complement each other to do more than they can do by themselves.
Mm,
So
yeah.
for me, again, it was like when I married somebody, it's like who can I build with? Like I don't like obviously she was attractive, she was sweet, she was funny, she was I also need an edge too. Like if you're too sweet, then I'll run over you. So it's like I knew that about myself. Like I need somebody who will stand up to me per se, um, and like sharpen me in that way. So yeah, but your wife needs this is what I think is a lot of the frustration that a lot of wives have is that like your husband is just like you're just going to work, playing video games, drinking, you're getting fat, like like and wives are getting anxious about that. So like I don't want my wife to be like, oh, well, Joel's not working. Not because I'm doing it for her, but it's just like this. Just like I have a drive in me. Like there's things that I want to do, and because I have a drive, like you want to help me accomplish these things. And so like our big thing right now is, we have a lot of we have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
This
You
season
got
has
your hands
been
full.
it's funny because like if you guys would have asked me like on my wedding day, or you would have told me that I would have 6 kids, I'm like, you got the wrong guy, buddy. Like
Yeah.
that's not me. But like I didn't realize how much I knew I would enjoy it. But 6 kids to me would have been like it would have been a crazy number. But that's part of life, right? It's like you kind of have plans and you know things change and you change. I've obviously changed quite a bit, from when I first got married. But yeah, your wife, she wants to help you if she's functioning properly. She wants to help you accomplish your goals, and like I want my wife to accomplish her goals as well. Like everything like we do, I want it to be win-win. You win and I win because of you. And if I win, then
Mhm.
it's a good day for you too. You win too. And that's really the dynamic that we want set up in our marriage. I don't want it to be like, well, I won and then you lost out on something because of
Yeah.
it. Or
No, I think that's awesome. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I think that's a good way of putting it, right? It's everything should be a win-win
Mhm.
for
And
us. Yeah.
if it's not, it's like, okay, so do I really want that? Like at what cost? So sometimes it's a hard call. Not everything's gonna be a win-win, but if at all possible, like that's what we shoot for. Like I never want her to feel like she's missing out because I went for something, and then again, I don't want to miss out because she went for, because that breeds resentment too. So like as a technical thing, that's something that my wife and I do is like weekly, bi-weekly. Is like, hey, what resentments have built up? Like let that out, because I don't want to be frustrated because it's like, hey, I went 3 days without sex and now I'm getting starting to give you the cold shoulder, or you needed me to pick the kids up and I scheduled something last minute, and now so you know
I
let's talk through this because
Am I hearing you say, Joel, that you guys have the hard conversations when they need to be had, and, somehow you've managed to stay married for 20 years? Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's shocking how that works, isn't it?
shocker.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you don't like want to, like, it's like, oh god, like,
No.
it's like taking a cold shower. Have you guys taken a
Yeah.
cold shower like in Arizona? Like this might be like the only month or two where it's actually cold for an extended period, but it's like it never feels good. But it's just like, this is gonna suck. But let's just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You wanna say something?
No,
Okay. Um, he was just like, "No, I'm good."
You just want to be cute with your pink headphones.
I'm here.
Yeah. No, no, I think that's all good stuff. So, I it kind of so in you know what, you might be able to school me here. You have more kids than we've had.
By
Um,
twice.
yeah, by twice. You have twice as many
Ooh.
kids as we've had.
It's crazy to think about.
But what is your view on, I see couples out there that absolutely pour themselves into their kids
Mhm.
and make their kids more the center of their marriage, more so than they make themselves the center of their marriage. And where I've seen them making the kids the center of their marriage, they tend to not be great marriages,
Mhm.
right? But that's just my perception and my view. And but I wanted to ask you, like, where I mean, because obviously your parents, you need to care for your kids. You do care for your kids. I mean,
Mhm.
parents obviously care for their kids, but where do you think the balance is in that kind of, we're parents, but we're also a married couple, and
Yeah.
how do you kind of navigate that?
I think we make it pretty clear to our kids. Like we 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 dote on them for sure. Okay, so like my kids wouldn't think that I'm a softie for them, but I am. They don't know. Okay, but we make it pretty clear. Like my wife will say, like your daddy comes, your daddy comes before you, and before your daddy, God comes. And I'll say the same thing. It's like, hey, like if I had to pick anybody here, I'm picking your mom before you guys, all right?
Yeah.
Right? And then God comes first. But obviously I love you guys, like we'll do this and stuff. But like when you guys have when like so because we'll talk to them about like when they're married. It's like when you get married and you have this, God comes first, and then your husband or your wife comes next, and then your kids. Okay. Like we're very explicit about that. And so I don't think there's really any issue with it, like, so because again, like you were talking about, like, you know couples who put the kids first don't really seem that happy. I think unfortunately, like, it's really a challenge to think of like married couples that are happy, and that's something that really bothers me, because like to me this is like you chose to do with your whole life with this person, and it's this is supposed to be something that should be fulfilling, should give you energy, should inspire
Yeah.
you. You I had one, it was like your wife should be your best friend, because there's nothing like it, right? It's like your lovers, your teammates, and your friends. Like there's no other relationship that is comes close to that. Not your nothing. So how many, like, that's why I enjoy seeing like you guys, Ginger and Mike, you guys follow them on X. It's like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we've
like,
had them
Mhm.
on the podcast before. They're
Yeah.
great.
oh, okay, yeah, like I love seeing them because you can see it's like they're lovers, they're friends, and they're teammates, and it's a very sweet dynamic. It's like, imagine if we had more of that, and that probably is one of the things that really like bother me, of like, why aren't people having kids? Well, first of all, people aren't having kids, so they don't have the experience of having being around kids. But also, it's like when were your kids born in the 90s?
Our youngest was 2000. So we had
Good
2000.
gosh, Joel, how old do you think we had then?
I don't
we
know.
had
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
we had
don't
2000, 2002, and 2004.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so they probably, because I remember like when I was in school, and we didn't grow up like in the high income area. Like everybody's parents were married, and then as
Mhm.
I got older, and I even went to we moved to like the more affluent area, it was like more and more kids had parents who were divorced. To then with your kids' generation, the 2000s, is they were born out of wedlock, a lot of them, right? So it's
Yeah.
like there is the foundation that I had as a kid, that you had as a kid, that wasn't there anymore for them. So it's like, why are they afraid of marriage? It's like they didn't have the stability that we had. So that's one thing I feel like I have to give grace to like younger guys, where it's I came into a world that was different than what you came into.
Yeah.
Even a thing like porn, right? Like like if you wanted to see porn, like you had to like go find a magazine, you got to go
Behind a
find somebody's
magazine. Yeah.
brother, you had to go to the back curtain in a video store, and they weren't going to let you back
Right.
there. Now you just make two clicks and it comes after you. So it's like, hey, like to me it's kind of goofy, like you got a porn addiction, but it's like, what, I didn't get exposed to it at 7 years old, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
how am I gonna judge this kid because he grew up in some different circumstances and got exposed to stuff that I didn't have the opportunity to, thank God. But who's to say like I wouldn't be like him if I was born later? Like, yeah, there's trade-offs, like there's great things that happen because of technology and all that stuff, but there's also, again, things that they missed out on because of it.
Yeah. Joel, you were just talking about kind of, you know, growing up in the 90s and um are your parents married? Did they say married?
Yeah, yeah, my parents are married. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. What about your wife?
Her parents aren't. They didn't. Then that was one of like like a like a pivotal moment for us too. Like it wrecked us.
That
I because
happened
I
during your guys' marriage?
No, it was when we were dating, so it was
Oh
like
wow.
like
Okay.
worse. It was
Yeah.
the worst.
I'm just
It
curious. Yeah,
sucked.
Avis and I come from pretty my dad was married 5 times. My mom's been married 3 times.
Oh, okay,
Her dad's
yeah,
been married and her mom's been remarried. And
Twice,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so we kind of didn't have the most awesome examples.
yeah.
But the reason I was asking is I was just curious. I mean, for us, because we saw so much carnage kind of
Mhm.
firsthand, like both of us, it was kind of like it's been a motivator for us. We're like, we don't want that. We've
Yeah,
seen the bullshit that goes along
yeah,
with that.
We also come into our marriage with holes because of that, right?
yeah.
Because I was primarily raised by my dad and Rob was primarily raised by his mom, and so,
Mm.
like, our perspectives were kind of like we had to work through some crap for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's a great point. Because most of the time, like people come into marriage and they think like you're gonna fulfill me, and this other person is gonna fulfill. So you're both coming into the marriage needy. Not a strong position to come in
Yeah.
from.
Or
You
even really even understanding what marriage is.
Yeah,
Like, what is
I
yeah.
would say I had a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
Right. It really is shaped by movies, TV, music, or just what you see around you, and God bless you guys because you've made it work for this long, and you guys look happy. You guys raised kids. Like that's not like you guys are curse breakers, really.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're really yeah, we're definitely happy and all that, and yeah. Like I said, but I've posted about this before on X, but, like, in some ways, I kinda, like, thank my parents because as much
Mhm.
as they went through and, all their kind of faults became building blocks for us in a
Yeah.
way to be like, well, we didn't live it firsthand, but we lived it secondhand, and we know
Right.
how bad it can be, and we don't, we can't
Yeah.
avoid.
Yeah, and that's wisdom, right? Like I can see somebody else's situation. I don't want that not only for me and my life and my marriage, but my kids, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't know what Christmas is like. It's like, hey, do we have a Christmas? Are we going to like 3 different
Oh yeah,
places?
yeah. The
This
family dynamics that come out of
this
divorce is
person can't be in the room with this person. Like,
Yeah.
it's so crazy. I mean, even that, like we're going through it right now. My mom isn't speaking to me right now, and it's
uh,
all just divorce crap, right?
mhm.
Because of her current husband and weird dynamics with that, and like it's just it doesn't end, you know. And so
No.
we tried to at least draw a line in the sand, you know, for our kids.
Yeah.
Uh, Whether it be successful or not, we'll see. I don't know.
You do the I mean, you do the best you can too. Like, that's a
Yeah,
conversation that we have with our kids. Like, hey, guess what? Like, I'm gonna mess up.
yeah.
Welcome to reality
Welcome to adulthood.
101,
Yeah,
and
welcome
but
to
I'm doing the best that I can.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm not that's not an that's not to excuse my behavior or anything, but it's just like, hey, we're doing the best that we can. Your mom and I are doing the best that we can.
yeah,
We've never had a, a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, whatever. Like, this is everything is our first go round with you because you're different than your brother or your sister, blah blah
yeah,
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's always a new situation. So
yeah. It's
the-
like if your kids actually realize how much you don't know what you're doing, they'd be shocked. Right?
they
We're
only
swinging it. We're going. I don't
if
know.
they
We're
only
figuring it out as
knew,
we
like,
go.
this guy, he had no idea. It's like sometimes like, oh, what do you think we should do? It's like, because I had no idea what to do. So I asked you, what consequence should I give to you? Sometimes I given them consequences and it was a little extreme, and I was like, oh no, let's pull that back. Like, I was like, all
Yeah.
right, like, I appreciate that, like, but let's rein that one back in. I think you went too far. That was kind of funny. You should ground me
Um.
Nice.
for a month. I was like, no, hold on. I was only gonna do like 2 days, but like, let's
All right, let's go 5. Let's go 5.
yeah, let's go 5. That's fine. Yeah, I don't seem like it's a win-win. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um. So Joel, let me ask you. You know, one of the things that we talk about a lot is like attraction and how important attraction is in
Mhm.
marriage. And you were alluding to it a little bit ago. You were talking about, you know, the husband getting fat, he's playing his video games, whatever, right? Kind of things that are maybe kill attraction there. I mean, how important is that? Because I would say I think it's probably the most important thing in a marriage, right?
Mhm.
And different people may define attraction a little bit different,
Mhm.
but I still think it's the most important thing. And I'm just curious to know your thoughts on it as another kind of longtime married dude. And
Um, this is interesting because I was thinking about this maybe today. So, like, when I was a kid, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I don't remember like thinking that like the moms were attractive. Like, I remember having like one friend whose mom was attractive. Like, I was in grade school, but like they don't
Stacy's
they
mom.
yeah, and it wasn't even like that, right? Like, this term MILF, like, that wasn't even a thing that we
Mm.
we thought of. It was like, because you think of like Golden Girls, and it was like, oh, these were like in
We
their
were just talking about that
50s.
the other day.
They're like,
I am the age of the Golden Girls, in
right.
case you're wondering.
So it's crazy.
Ish.
It's crazy to like how women now are just like, to me, like, they're like, they if they take care of themselves, like, was like, wow,
Yeah.
like, like, that was not a thing as a kid. So like, I remember like when I got married, like, my wife was beautiful, all that, but I was like, well, like, this is gonna be, in her 20s until she has kids, and then, she's gonna gain weight, I'm sure. But she always said this thing, she's like, I never want to let myself go. So she was always very active, and I always appreciated that because I was an athlete too. And if anybody let themselves go, it was actually me. So, not her. So she was like working out like like through all her pregnancy, she worked out. Um, but as like, so like, to me, it was like, I didn't realize how much I appreciate it, because it really is the effort. That's what's attractive to me. It's like, oh, you're putting forth the effort to,
Yeah.
eat well and to like find time to, because guys, we haven't slept well in like 15 years. Okay. Like all these threads of like get 7+ hours of sleep and like dial in. It's like, I haven't slept in years. Okay. Like, this
Joel's
is,
like, if I could get 3, I'd be doing great.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, the
It's
key for
coming,
me,
it's coming.
yeah,
Yeah.
the key for me is like, if I get like 4 hours uninterrupted, then like, okay.
You're
So
doing something.
so
Yeah.
so it really is like the effort. Like, for us to have intimacy, it takes effort. Like we were like trying to like, hey, here you gotta go watch TV over here. Like there was
Yeah, we
Yeah.
remember.
it takes a lot of effort, right? Like there
Yeah,
somebody can
yeah.
like we could get started and like somebody starts crying or
Dude,
fighting.
I can remember like when we were out house shopping at one point when our kids were young, and it was like we were like strategizing, like, okay, well, our bedroom's on a different floor from where we're gonna put the
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like so they're not
yeah.
right next door to us, like, it's
So
yeah,
I like for me that's the biggest thing. It's like I don't care so much about the result. I just like, hey, like are we trying to be like, so we have a home gym and it's like nice. It's like, she works out. She feels good when she works out.
yeah,
But she also has like her own she has her own business that she runs, and it's like, okay, like here's a thing that you get excited about. So like that's attractive to me. I'm not the
yeah,
same person that I was last year. Like I've actually lost weight because it was like, why do I had this like number in my head that's like, I'm over 6 feet tall, so I should be 200 pounds. But a lot of it was just fat because it was like I've been like skinny, and then like being a football player, like being skinny is not a compliment. And so it was always like, oh, you're skinny. But it's like now it's like there's this 16-year-old in my head that is still like talking to me like, you don't need that anymore. So anyway, so
yeah.
it's us like trying. It's us very much trying our best to put
Yeah.
our best foot forward.
Giving
Like
giving your best to your spouse
yeah,
in that
yeah,
moment.
like I I work from home, but I don't like stay in my pajamas all day. Like,
Mhm.
put some stuff in my hair. I comb my get, I groom myself. And she does the same thing. Like, for a while it was, a lot of leggings and stuff because she was always like breastfeeding and stuff. And now it's like, oh, like I get to wear jeans and cute boots. And, it's hot here in Arizona too. So you don't get to wear like cool, like layered stuff and the
Yeah,
stylish,
yeah,
but like we try, like that's really it. Like the effort is always appreciated, like on my end. Like if I was to go over to your house, right? And I don't know if you guys are good cooks or not, but if you made the effort to make me some food, like thank you. Like that's all I needed. Like
yeah.
you took
Yeah.
the time to
Dude, I am
really.
phenomenal at ordering pizza.
All right. Yeah, here we go.
I make
You
food
go
that will
boop,
keep
boop,
you
boop, boop,
alive.
boop, boop, boop,
That's the
boop.
bar in our
Yeah.
house. It'll keep
Yeah.
you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis is a great baker. She's not the best cook, but
Oh, okay.
thankfully I'm not hard to please in that department.
Yeah.
So
That works out then.
yeah.
If you're coming over, Joel, you're having meatloaf or lasagna, probably.
Oh, I love meatloaf. I
You can
love
Yeah,
pick.
me
meatloaf.
too.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
meatloaf's
meatloaf.
great.
yeah,
When we
Lasagna's
have
great.
Joel over, we're having
All
meatloaf.
right,
We have to
yeah.
remember
perfect.
that.
I love meatloaf.
Throw his 6 kids in the backyard. We'll
Yeah, man. It'll be loud.
Good. We love it.
uh cool. Okay. Yeah. 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 So yeah, I mean, I think attraction is huge. And I think it kind of ties into that whole, like, like focusing on your spouse, I mean, not your spouse is more important than your kids, and just got to
Mhm.
really work at keeping that attraction alive. Right. And I think
Yeah.
and couples will have their nuances about how they describe that, but so long as you're kind of focused on it, I think it's really, really key.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Um,
I think we're doing all right. Like soon as I told him, I was like, hey babe, like we're pretty good looking, huh? She's like,
yeah,
I'm like, yeah.
yeah. That's all that matters, man. You guys are happy with each other.
Funny.
That's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
We Avis and I mean, we've got some friends that I'm like, I tell her all the time, I'm like, I don't know how, like, to me, like, that wife is not what I would consider attractive,
Mhm.
but they're seemingly happily married.
Yeah.
So, whatever. If it's working for them, it's
Yeah.
working.
Some
As
of it
long
is
as
some of it's the intangibles, right? Like you could see an
yeah, right.
act
That's what I was gonna say.
it's like
There's other stuff that I can't see there. That's the guy part of the attraction package,
like
right?
you think of like basketball, like a guy like Charles Barkley, he's short, he's fat, but somehow he just gets the ball in there, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, but he makes it work. Like, all right, all right. That's one thing too I have going for me. So it's like I tell my wife, I'm just like tall, dark, and handsome. I'm hilarious, babe. Like, look out.
Yeah. So, let, so Joel, let me ask you as a kind of another like lead into this. So, it's no secret that, like, couples that are kind of struggling with this attraction are we've got, I mean, there's porn is an epidemic in
Mhm.
marriages for men and women, honestly, too. I mean, I there's just
Which is
more and
weird to
more
say,
women.
huh?
Yeah, more and more women watching porn. I mean, they're reading more porn than they're watching porn, but
Yeah.
it's still there. Um, and it's become in a lot of marriages a substitute for actual intimacy and real sex,
Mhm.
right? And so, what I wanted to ask you is, if you kind of talked in general about what's important to keeping the attraction alive, but when you've got something like this that's kind of serious going on, and maybe I'm sure you have men come to you and they're in this situation where it's like dead bedroom, but there's porn
Mm.
news, there's other stuff that's kind of serving as a substitute for that. Like, is the advice to kind of how they get the attraction and the intimacy the same as what we talked about before, or is it more tactical? Like, how what would you say to a man that finds himself in this dead bedroom situation where maybe there's substitutions going on for intimacy and sex?
So my process with all the guys is always it's always the same. So I go back we go back to the Bible before anything. It's like all these things that you have going on are symptoms of something else. And 99% of the guys, it's always a symptom of like, oh, you've disconnected from God. Like God made you and you've been disconnected from God. So when God created Adam, he put him in Eden. Eden was not a physical location, it means God's presence. So when God created Adam, he put him in Eden. So what does that mean? It means that that's where a man belongs. And if you read before in the Bible, it's like God didn't just create the fish, he creates the sea first and then he creates the fish. So he shows you before I make anything, I create the environment for it first to thrive. And so 99.999 of the guys that I speak to, that's where we go first. Dude, where are you in your relationship? Because we talked about like two people getting married and they have these holes, right? It's like, well, if you're in the right environment, then you don't need now from your wife because God fills you with that need. And now that changes. Now you still have physical needs, so I'm not saying that, but we have to work there first because because the men become needy where it's like I need sex and I need it's like ugh, like nobody likes that. So we got to first set you up to what are you doing before we even because I don't ever talk to a wife. I've never talked to a wife. It's
Mhm.
always like I'm dealing with you as a man. Like you're gonna change the environment in your home because you're gonna change because God's gonna transform you. Okay. So first things first is you got to get connected to God. What does God say about you? What are you these are the things that he's laid out because in the Bible, before Eve comes on the scene, God lays out things for a man to do first. And then he says, and this man should not be alone. So the first thing was to be in God's presence. The second thing is he gives him work, and then he tells him to keep and protect, and then he gives him the word. So that's why when the snake comes, there's confusion on Eve's end. She's like, oh, he said that if we touch the fruit, then we die. It's like, no, that's not what he said at all. So somewhere there's a disconnect there between what Adam said. But first and foremost, that's where we go and then and then you make yourself attractive because you let God transform you. We let God then do what like we give you your mission because a man on a mission now is attractive. Like I don't know how it was for you guys, but when I met my wife, like I had like goals, I had like ambition, and that's one of these things that again is it's not a physical thing, but it is like like he has a confidence about him. He has, and when you get disconnected, life beats you up. 13 years down the line, you're tired. Your glory days are behind you. It's like, well, yeah, like you thought your best days. Like if anything, that's one thing that I have that's a kind of a strength is I always think like today is going to be better and then tomorrow is going to be even better than that like
Mm.
like like it keep
Yeah.
babies crying or whatever it's like doesn't it like today is going to be better and tomorrow's going to be better why
Keep more
because
of a kind of a positive outlook on
yeah
it.
yeah
Yeah.
and so like I think that's one thing that like I think makes me attracted to my wife it's like I'm always like like the chips may be down but it's like this is going to work out.
Yeah.
And so going back to like a dead bedroom it's you have to be an attractive man. Like so
Mhm.
let's start there first. And what is a man? Are we letting movies or someone else define it? It's like no, God laid out the definition for us. So let's start doing those things. And then once they start doing those things, then we work on like communication, technical things, feelings, thinking, that kind of whole thing. And yeah, man, I've had guys who were like dreamed of being asexual because it was just like there was like frigid, frigid bedroom. I was like, gosh. And he was like, I just
Yeah.
wish I never had even the urge for it. To it was like she would
Mm,
wake him up to, have some fun. And it's like, yeah, like you let, and this guy wasn't even a Christian really, but it's like
yeah.
the principles are still there though. It's like that's like gravity is gravity whether you believe in it or not. So God is going to work whether you believe in it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, men definitely need to work on themselves. They need to be the best version of themselves they can, right? They need to be who they were designed to be, all that stuff. And the same for women too. I mean, I know you're not into talking to women, but it's like you need both sides of the equation, right? And when you've got both people kind of pouring in, putting in their best foot forward, it just makes everything go smooth, right? It doesn't all fall on one person's shoulders, and
I'll say
yeah.
this though, like if a man cheated, right? Like we all know, it's like, oh, that's grounds for divorce,
Mm,
right? Right. But if a woman withholds, like
yeah,
we don't consider that the same thing. But I'm like,
right.
well, no, you're being
Same. Yeah.
unfaithful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Yeah.
you're taking something that God wired into men. They have a very strong urge for, and as his wife, you're there to fulfill that urge to
mhm,
help, with that, right? Like, um, or be his outlet for that urge. Maybe I'll say,
uh-huh,
and if you're not making yourself available for that, yeah. I mean, how is
yeah,
that any different? Yeah.
yeah. So that was something that I didn't really consider. That I'm like, yeah, like maybe you do need to put the pressure on because you're not being faithful to me. You have no
Yeah.
problem. You have no problem asking for stuff.
Right.
You want you want you want marriage you want marriage benefits, but you're acting like a roommate. How are we squaring that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For sure.
I had a guy, he wasn't, their bedroom was cold, we'll just say, and like his wife would ask, and she's asking for some pretty expensive stuff, and it's just like he ended up, making some big sacrifices to get this thing for her. And I told him, I was like, you shouldn't do this for her. 'Cause she's not making the, and, like, she had nice stuff already, so it wasn't like
Mm,
she was lacking, like, I don't tell a man to, like, manipulate and to, like, "Hey, take away," but she's asking for, like, some extra extravagant stuff. "You shouldn't do this." He didn't listen,
yeah.
so,
He didn't listen.
uh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you have to have boundaries, like like
100%.
like a big thing is like your people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Like
Yeah.
what you tolerate, you need to expect.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty big on like I'm very like I will joke a lot, but sometimes if I cross a line, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to like cross a line or whatever. But if someone crosses the line with me, like, hey man, like you crossed the line right now, man. Or like, hey man, you need to chill. Like so like a thing I'll say to I'll say to my kids or whatever. It's like you better realize who you're talking to. Like I'm still your dad. Like I'll play with you, but you better realize who you're talking to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that part of me where it's like, hey, I'll play for sure, 1,000%. I'm like a puppy, but there's a line where like, hey man, don't forget who you're talking to. And I can't even
Yeah.
fight either, okay, guys. I can't fight, so I'm not even saying like, but there's
I
still
don't know if
that.
I believe that. um, cool, man. Well, we're coming up on we've been recording for over an hour. It's hard to believe all this time has
Mhm,
gone by. But I do have kind of just maybe like one more thing I want to just broach with you, and we'll
mhm,
try not to keep you too long on it. But what do you? Because there's a lot of men who are really just down on marriage. And I can understand why, right? You see a
mhm,
lot of failed relationships, some of the stuff we talked about earlier with the dynamics of the state and how
mhm,
things are kind of not fair towards men and all those things. And, and these men, like they have no intent of getting married.
mhm.
So I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you think if I were to pose a question to you, what can men get out of marriage that they can't necessarily get by staying single? I mean, is there anything? I mean, are
Yeah.
men who are staying single giving up anything?
Yeah, this is a great question. Let me see if I'm phrasing this right. So a woman is fulfilled in marriage, but a man doesn't reach his potential outside of marriage. So men were made for responsibility. Like you could do all kinds, climb Mount Everest, found a billion-dollar company or whatever, but there's nothing that's going to challenge you like marriage, because we were made to lead, and we were made to be responsible. And this is, again, one of those building block things in life. It's like one of those things where it's like, once you have kids, you understand. Like, you can't explain to somebody without kids what it's like with kids. It's like, oh, you mean I'm gonna not sleep, and I'm gonna get, throw up on me, and there's gonna be shitty diapers and crying and tantrums. Like, what am I missing out on? Like,
Yeah.
I don't. It's like that, the field of dreams, right? Like, where you cross the line. It's like, once you cross, like, you can't cross back. But like, there's this kind of knowledge that kind of comes with it.
Yeah.
So there is a kind of knowledge that married men experience life differently. And and practically, I feel like marriage is like one of, like, the last adventures now, like,
I feel
where.
like it's observable. What you're saying is observable. You see these young men and they're dating and they finally date the one and
Hmm.
like things in their life just start clicking.
Hmm.
Right? They start, like, excelling in their careers or whatever because, like you said, now they have this woman and this ownership and this care and this providing for, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, like, it just starts clicking in their lives.
Yeah, it's purpose. Meant we crave it. Like, we need it. This is why, like once I was done playing sports, like, I lost this sense of purpose and identity of, like, oh, like, I do this thing. But it's like, well, why do I get up in the morning? Like, why would you get up in the morning just to, I guess some people can be motivated because it's like a lot of money. But like, you've seen that picture of, like, the guys will live in this apartment and just like a mattress and like a crate and stuff like that. It's like, well, because, yeah, like, we don't need
Yeah,
anything. But there's a sense of, like, um I don't know, joy that you get, because it's like, oh, hey, here's this home that I get to come home to. My wife is there, she loves me, and my kids are there, and there's food in the fridge, and there's laughter, and we get to have, good conversation, and sex is good, and it's fulfilling, because, like, I've never had sex and felt like, oh man, like, what do they call it? What's that term? Post nut clarity. Like,
Mm.
it's just like,
Mm.
like, what? And, like, it's always like super fulfilling. You're like, oh, that feels good. Like, I can't wait to do that again. Like, it's always it's like, because it's in that's what it's made for.
Yeah.
So I think marriage, again, like, a man is not. We look at it like presidents. Like, if there's a president who was not married, he'd be like, why? Like,
Yeah.
what is he missing that he can't make that happen? So we look at men who are not married differently than men who are, because it's like, oh, you can shoulder the responsibility. You can lead a family. So we just look at somebody different. Like, you could be 45 years old, single. It's like, oh yeah, you know a lot of stuff, but like, you're still kind of a kid. You're still kind of a kid, man. Like, you're
So,
out at the club still. Like, you're going off whenever you have no responsibility to no one. Like, oh, okay, of course you got a lot of money. Like, why wouldn't you? That's easy.
I'm gonna ask you probably the most controversial question here, just to
Oh,
kind of wrap this thing up here, that it could potentially piss off half of Twitter.
mm, I've
The,
done that before.
depending on your answer, yeah. So, all that's great, and I would agree. I mean, I've kind of had a similar answer myself, that there's just a lot of fulfillment that you don't really know until you're there. And
Mhm.
one of the things that we're going through right now is, having adult children, and now we've had our first grandchild. And just like, if I had never
Congrats.
gotten to that
Yeah.
point, like, I wouldn't have known. If you'd asked me that in my 20s, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. But like, how fulfilling it actually is
Mhm.
when you get there, like, it's just something you don't know till you get there. And it's hard to express that to other men, that like there's this kind of just this, yeah, I don't, fulfilling is the word I want to keep using, but It's
I just
just
don't know what
there's
word.
something there that this is the only way you're going to experience it. Um, but having said that, men might say that's all well and good. It's still not worth the risk, right? Because you're asking me to go and put myself in I don't know if you follow Pearl Davis at all, but I know she's got like kind of like a thing she says, if you were asked to sign a business contract that in the contract had a 40 to 50% chance of failure in the first 10 years, would you sign that business contract? And what she's kind of means by that, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know exactly
Yeah.
how she says it, but and she says that to say that men, there's just so much risk with divorce and no fault divorce and all those things, and to say to men, hey, being married is so great, but it might not work out in 50% of the cases. Like, what would you say about that? I mean, my honest answer is, what I say is, I think you should keep the state out of your marriage. I personally wouldn't tell anybody to get legally married. That's just my stance. Now, we're legally married, right? We
Mhm.
did it. But I think getting the government involved in your marriage is a problem. And I realize there are other that that creates other problems.
Yeah.
I'm not naive to that. But that would be my answer, because I understand where the men have kind of been through the ringer and divorce and all that are coming from on this. But there's a lot of great benefits to marriage, and I hate
Yeah.
seeing men miss out on that. And I'm like, well, just leave the state out of it. But I'm curious to know what your answer is, and like how you would view, what you would say to a man that comes to you and says, yeah, it seems like marriage is awesome, but it's not worth the risk. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. You know what my answer is?
Yeah, let's hear.
Don't get married.
Don't get married. Yeah,
I'm
marriage isn't for you.
it's not for you. So don't get married, but also don't go and sleep with all these women and like
Well, that's the kicker, because men
piss
like
in the
having
dating
sex,
pool. So
right?
don't go piss in the dating pool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like you want to act married. Like this is reserved for marriage. So if you don't want that, you don't want to take that risk. Like there was just a guy, who was it? Well, let's say like Elon, right? Like he's got all the money in the world,
yeah.
right?
He's
He
got
sleeps
like
with the
10 baby mamas or
he sleeps
more. I
with
don't
a
know how many
woman,
he has.
and now she's like threatening to trans his kid.
Yeah, yeah. I know,
Okay.
craziness.
Yeah.
Another guy was a baseball player. He sleeps with a woman. She accuses him of rape,
Yeah,
and it ruins his whole career.
yeah,
Okay, like so, what risk do you want to take? You're there. You're gonna you don't want to take that risk. Fine. Like if somebody said to me like, "Hey, should I like be a fighter or should I play football?" Like I think it's risky. Like okay, then don't do it. Like I'm
yeah,
not gonna I can't I'm not gonna convince you to do something that you think is risky. Like because if I tell you to do it and you get hurt, who are you gonna blame? You can blame me. Don't blame me. That's you, man.
yeah.
He-
Right. I talked you into marriage and now you got hurt. But
yeah,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people be like, "Hey, what did you think about this? Is this? Hey, did you pray about it?" Because this is a story right here. So I had a guy that I was coaching, and he was in a relationship, and long time relationship, and they were looking at getting married. And the stuff that he was telling me, I was like, I don't think you should get married. But if I would have told him, don't marry her, and he did it, and it was like what he had to go through to get out of it,
yeah,
he would have blamed me. So I needed just like like let's look at this eyes wide open, right? Like that's the thing is like is marriage risky? Yeah, of course. Of course. That'd be stupid to say it's not. Okay?
yeah,
It is risky. There's a
yeah.
lot
Well,
of bad
not
things that can happen.
nothing in life that's worth anything doesn't have some risk with it. I mean, that's the
Right.
truth, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Right? Like you get in your car, there's risk. Like you play soccer, which I hate. There's risk. You play football. There's risk everywhere. Right? So
yeah,
is it in you? Okay, it's not okay, but don't piss in the pool and mess it up for everybody else.
yeah.
Okay, because
And that's the
you leave
great,
you leave. They call it bodies now, right? Which is crazy. Before it was
sure,
partners, now it's bodies. Like yeah, you leave all this death,
yeah,
and now women don't trust men. Why? Because you use them. Like,
That
what?
that's the great conundrum, right? Because men, I mean, we're sexual beings.
Yeah.
Men are,
Well, so are
and
women. That's
yeah,
just like
and women are
they
too. Yeah,
want it
that's
too.
true. I mean, the world,
Rob, you're handsome, man.
sex
Angels
makes the
saw
world
you.
go
I'm sure,
around.
like, hey, look at this hot stuff, man.
Sex makes the world go around, right?
It
So
does.
like,
We we know we wouldn't be here.
yeah, yeah. So I understand, it's just it's just I don't know how you fix it. I mean apart from, ideally, I mean everyone would kind of just adopt what we would call the natural order, which is, the order that God designed,
Right.
right? But, short of that, like how I don't know how it gets fixed.
Yeah. So like for me, it's like I can only fix me. Like I can't worry about you and your marriage or my neighbor. Like I got to make sure
Yeah.
I'm taking care of that. I'm living the example, and then I that I teach this to my sons, because like if my sons were like players, my boys are handsome like already, and if it's like if I would be disappointed in them if they were just using women, and I make that very clear. I'm handsome, so it wasn't like I didn't have like opportunities. It was like no, like this is the standard that I live to. Why? Because this is what God called me to be. Like I'm in the world, but I'm not of it, and so that was one of the things that was very attractive to my wife is because like there were like she was like, "Who are you? Like
Mm,
who? I've never met anybody like you." So like, yeah, be that guy. If you operate in the design that God gave you, when you come into a woman's presence, there's going to be something different about you, and it's not going to be how that you're because you're 6 feet tall, six figures, 6 inches. Is like no, none of that. It's
yeah.
you carry you carry the presence with you.
Yeah. All right, good stuff, Joel. We'll end with that. I appreciate your time. It's been a great
Yeah,
conversation. I've
man.
really enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
just tell people that have, listened this far in the podcast, if they want to find you, how do they find you? How do they engage
Main
with your services?
place is on X, and you can find me at the THEE Joel Lopez. I'm on Instagram at the same thing, but I'm not as I don't really like taking pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, Joel. Well, thank you again
All
so
right,
much. And I'm sure our paths will cross again,
Yeah.
and we'll continue interacting with you on X, and
for sure.
enjoying your bits of wisdom that you're dropping. So
Thanks
thanks
for
so
the
much
invite,
for
you
your time.
guys. Thank
It's
you.
been
All
fun.
right, I'll see you. Bye.